Hey, it's Mark Rodriguez here, and with me is...
Jupi Chan, also known as Ninja Jupi, or you can call me Wendy. Hey guys.
Yep, and you're watching the review Sanctum, where everything and anything may be reviewed.
And today we're going to be talking about Venom: The Last Dance.
Yes. So this movie starts off, well, first of all, I want to say we're going to try not to go into too many spoilers, not the ending parts, of course.
The after-ending credits, as to be expected with a Marvel film.
Yeah, and also the movie's only 2 weeks old. I think it just premiered last week. So we're going to take these into spoilers, but of course, if you don't want the plot and stuff spoiled, just beware. There will be some spoilers, but not like ultimate spoilers,
Mm-hmm. So
basically, I'm surprised that the movie starts off where the last one ended, but in terms of the MCU, because they were doing a thing where the last movie they were in Mexico, they were hanging out at a bar, in the regular, I guess the Sony verse you would call it, but due to the whole Spider-Man thing and Spider-Man No Way Home, they got warped to the MCU version of that same bar, and the guy was telling me about the Avengers and Thor and Thanos and all that kind of stuff, so it's got a weird little scene there. So this movie starts off that they're still in the MCU version of the Mexican bar, and they get yanked back to, I guess, the Sony-verse version of the Mexican bar.
And the line there was just so hilarious. I'm singing multiverse crap or whatever. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah. So elsewhere in this other world where all the symbiotes come from, there's this being called this Sephiroth-looking guy named Knull, and he's imprisoned because I guess he was so dangerous that the symbiotes themselves imprisoned him, because if he gets free, he'll kill everything and anyone everywhere. And the only thing that could let him free is, what was that thing called again?
The Codex.
Codex, thank you. And the way the Codex works, I guess it's like, if a symbiote is with their host and their host dies and the symbiote brings them back to life, they now become the Codex. So he's sending off these weird monsters after them, but the monsters can't really see the Codex unless, like, and in this case, unless Eddie turns into full-on Venom. Yeah. Is the thing. So every time he turns into full-on Venom, they always run the risk that the monster's going to track them no matter where they are, on the planet and everything. So Eddie's stuck in Mexico. And most of the movie, at least from his perspective, is they're going to try to go to New York to try to, get back to the world and see what's going to happen, because after the events of the second movie, like, they're after him. The government's after him, the law's after them, that kind of stuff. So they got to go to New York and kind of clear their name or see what they're going to do. Mm-hmm. And, so at the same time, because there's lots of different perspectives here, we got Area 51 is going to be shut down in a couple of days.
Yeah, like decommission it.
There's an extra hidden Area 55 underground that no one knows about. And there's this woman here, I forgot her name, scientist woman, that when she was younger, I guess she had a very close friend, boyfriend, something.
Her brother.
Oh, it was her brother?
It was her brother.
Oh. And he wanted to become, what she's doing, all those science stuff, and, NASA science and all that.
Yeah, they were both interested in aliens and Area 51 stuff. She said it earlier, that was their dream for her brother to work in Area 51.
Yeah. Well, it just so happened that she got hit by a bolt of lightning, and she was grabbing onto him. She got messed up or whatever, but he flat out died. So that kind of, traumatized her. But at the same time, I guess that imposed her to work where she is right now. Yeah. And they got soldiers there, and they got
typical hitting government, army, military. I mean, that's all you need to say. That's all.
Well, I mean, they got lots of symbiotes there too. Yeah. And they got this one dude that's, I forgot if he was in the second movie or not, because it sounds like we're supposed to know.
Mulligan. It was Mulligan, because apparently, they're saying that Eddie killed Mulligan, but apparently he didn't. They have him, and he had him, and he was infected with a symbiote.
Yeah, and eventually the symbiote tells them about the whole thing about Knull coming and the Codex and the monsters or whatever. So the military guy wants it, because the only way to stop this in general is just kill Venom in general, So he wants to kill him and everything. Yeah. So yeah, stuff happens. You run into the monster. Venom's freaked out because, oh shit, these monsters. They're basically symbiote hunters. And they're very powerful, and they can just kill, symbiotes in seconds.
They get a predator, I guess, in that regard.
Yeah. And at the same time, we all run into this crazy family.
They're like a hippie family, seriously.
Yeah. You all did what I'm saying, man,
Even the van they were driving looked like one of those little Volkswagen vans from the 60s. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, so it's the husband and wife, the little kid and the daughter. The daughter's like the, rolling her eyes, type like, oh, Dad, really? That kind of thing.
Yeah, their dream was to go visit Area 51, so they sold all of their stuff, cashed everything out to take the family across country to go to Area 51. And there was one thing that daughter said, I was like, I'm not surprised. I'm surprised social services haven't taken us away from them yet.
Yeah. And, so Venom runs into them, and they become friends and stuff like that.
Well, Eddie does.
Yeah, Eddie does.
As Eddie.
Yeah. And that's the thing. So for a lot of the movie, Venom can, the earlier movies, Venom, like the head part just kind of pops out and stuff. So you could do kind of things like that, and the tentacles and stuff like that. But he runs the risk that whenever he turns into like flat out, like full on Venom, then the things come in. So of course, there are scenes where he does have to become Venom, and that alerts the monsters to them, and there we go. So that's basically, I think, what we will say, so we don't spoil too much,
Yeah, and also with that thing showing up, it also alerts the not necessarily Knull, but like the military too. So they get involved because of that. So there's...
Yeah. And then there's the earlier fight where the monster first appears in front of the soldiers, and the soldiers are trying to capture Eddie and Venom, and you blasted Eddie with something that separates Venom out of him, like the sound weapons and stuff. And they were trying to keep them separated, but then the monsters showed up, and the monsters started eating the soldiers and stuff. And people are, they can't tell the difference between one and the other or whatever. So now they really want to go after Eddie even more, because like 3 of my men got killed. We gotta get them, and so that kind of raised the ire of the soldier guy and everything. But other than that, again, we'll leave the rest for you guys to watch the movie. But I do enjoy the movie. It was a lot of fun. It was a big difference in the first two, because now that Eddie's on the run, we don't get to see him do stuff as news reporter anymore. He's just, most of the movie for him and his story arc with him and Venom, even without the monsters, is basically getting back to the States, because they're stranded in Mexico. They gotta get back to the States. That's their main goal and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a cool movie. I enjoyed it. A lot of fun. A lot of comedic stuff. I always like the banter, the back and forth. Because again, I don't think the comics ever does that. The comics, you don't really get to see too much of the, I guess, Venom internal monologue too much. And they don't do the thing in the comics. Because, the comics is more, he's more Venom than Eddie Brock. We see Venom jumping around and whatever. But you don't get to see, like, here, where Venom's always, like, talking in his head. And he always has to kind of whatever, because then, people are kind of, hey, you're talking to yourself, buddy, and that kind of stuff. And it's kind of funny because, with the hippie family, same thing, hey, you're talking to yourself, man, that kind of stuff. So, I do like that. Lots of good action, lots of cool monster fights and everything.
And there were a few of those fights that kind of was just too much for me. All the CGI and stuff was just too much back and forth for me. It kind of, in a way, it kind of takes you out of it a bit, but that's just me personally.
Yeah.
But for me, for the movie, I liked it okay for what it was. And honestly, I didn't see the second movie. I saw the first one years ago, but I remember bits and pieces of it. Like, certain things that get referenced, like how Eddie got killed in the first one. I was like, wait a minute, that is from the first movie.
Yeah, that's what happened. That is what happened. That when Venom was telling Eddie about the Codex, Eddie was like, the whole thing about if the host dies and the symbiote brings them back to life, they become the Codex. And he's like, well, I'm glad that didn't happen. It's like, like they showed the scene for the first movie
and I was like,
where Eddie did die and did get revived. So, oh fuck, they are the Codex.
Yeah. So I kind of like that, and even though I didn't see the second movie, I could still follow this movie. The only thing that kind of threw me was the beginning of the movie with the whole, like, what's name just grabbed and pulled him through the portal that I'm tired of the multiverse crap, and pulls him through to go to the other part with where the bartender looks different. Eddie looks all disheveled more than he was before he got pulled through, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I like the, but like I said, it's mostly the Venom Eddie banter. And since I only saw the first movie and seeing how Eddie was with Venom then, it's like, oh my God, I want to get rid of you, leave me alone. Then you come to this movie like, yeah, buddy, you drive me insane, but at the same time, there's love there, like good friendship. So I really did enjoy that.
Yeah, because the second movie does build up more on their friendship and stuff. So I guess you kind of missed that, like the character growth of how they got along and everything. And
the plot in a way was simple. The only downside is the ending, in my opinion, because for something that's supposed to be wrapping up a story, it's like they're still trying to set something else up.
Yeah.
And of course, it's Marvel, so you guys can get an idea of that. It's like the Indiana Jones trilogy. The way it ended with The Last Crusade, that was the perfect time to end that series. It was bookended. It was perfect. They were riding off into the sunset. Then they come out with the Crystal Skull.
Yeah, but that would be like if the Indiana Jones movie, the trilogy ended perfectly, but then after the credits, because back then they didn't do that as they do nowadays so often.
Yeah, not so often.
After the end credits, one of the bad guys says, "I'll get you next time, Indiana Jones." Like you're kind of like, wait, but the trilogy's over. Well, what's with this guy? You know?
No, they just show Hitler. We're gonna get that Indiana Jones, it's during Nazi.
Yeah, during Nazi times.
Yeah.
But let's get off that subject. But anyways, but that's the thing with the Venom movie. The only thing I want to say that's just a bit, I guess, super spoilery, just the last thing I'll say, and it's irony because the title is called The Last Dance, is that there is a scene where Eddie and Venom are in Vegas and they run into the lady, I think her name was Mrs. Chen, the lady that runs the store from the first, for the two movies, because of course, but he's in Mexico, what would she be doing there? But I guess she just happens to be there on her Vegas vacation or whatever.
Yeah, if she has like a penthouse, she said her line got picked up, she making lots of money and all this other stuff.
Yeah, so there's a scene, it's just irony, where she wants to celebrate on her vacation, she's a good friend of Eddie and Venom from the two movies, especially the second movie, and she wants to dance, so Venom wants to dance, so Venom and her dances.
To dancing queen.
Yeah, and it's just the irony, if the title and all that stuff and the trilogy and everything, it's just the irony because that dance really was the last dance, and that really was the last time that Venom just had good old carefree fun before the movie happens and all shit goes to hell afterwards,
all the fighting with those predator things.
And everything. Mm-hmm. But it is awesome though. The second half of the movie, there's lots of action, all the characters get in there. You got all these side characters like the
family,
lady,
and the family.
The family.
The hippie family actually
there was
plays a role.
This black girl there that had like a Christmas tree because she really likes it, so she always wears it and stuff like that.
Yeah, because her mother made it for her.
Yeah, so she appears a lot. So like all these little minor characters that appear, they have like bigger roles for the big final, epic like fight scene and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Here's something that did drive me a little nutty though. I'm sorry, Eddie had too much luck for this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, sort of like he ran into the hippie family. The hippie family played a role later. It's just too many coincidences that helped him.
Especially the lady being here in Vegas.
Yeah.
What are the odds?
But that really helped him out a bit.
What are the odds?
Yeah. It's like the plot armor,
Yeah. Now, the only thing I do want to say is another thing that was a little minor plot hole, sort of. Maybe, I don't know. You can tell me if you think it's a plot hole or not, the viewers. Is there's a lot of symbiotic action during the movie. I don't want to spoil too much, but the thing is, when all the soldiers just have regular guns, I'm thinking to myself, okay, so you got Area 55 with all the symbiotes, and they've been studied and all, they know about Eddie and all the shit and everything. Why are they not using fire weapons and sound weapons? Because they know that the symbiote, or they should know, that they're weak to fire and sound. Shoot off, sound cannons or whatever. Not just regular guns that do nothing. Like the fucking predator monsters or the symbiote hunters, they had built-in sonic waves that they could knock they could knock Eddie out of Venom and stuff. Mm-hmm. Why were the soldiers equipped with that? I mean, I guess it would make things more complicated for the movie, but in general, why didn't they,
And here's something else that was kind of convenient. So the symbiote thing, I did recall it as you were mentioning it, that in order to pick a host, the bodies have to be compatible.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there are a lot of symbiotes.
A lot of compatible hosts.
Yes, it's like, oh, what do you know? They just latch onto that person. Hey, they work out. Okay. No. We're not going to say anything. We're not gonna bring that up. That was in the first movie.
The only thing I could think of, maybe because the body's trying to like reject it or something. The only thing I could think of is like, okay, shit's going down. We need to fight now. We'll make this fucking body work or something. That's the only thing I could think of, you know. Oh man.
That's about all I can think of to say without getting too spoiled any more spoilers.
But that's the last thing. At least for me, I'm gonna say I enjoyed the movie. It was a lot of fun. I know that this version of Venom is more comedic and funny and all that kind of stuff. He's kind of like a big kid learning how the world works and stuff throughout all three movies. And I'm sure that it turned off a lot of fans. Of course, the biggest thing is that, Spider-Man, right? It's like an entire Venom trilogy.
Oh yeah, even I said that.
An entire Venom trilogy without Spider-Man.
Yeah, I was saying that too. I was like, yeah, so sure, it would be interesting if Spider-Man was here.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you kind of sort of ignore that, and I know it's a big if, you know what I mean? It's like making a Bizarro trilogy without Superman.
Oh my gosh, hey, you can't have Bizarro without Superman.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm just saying, like I guess in the way, if you just go into the movie, just going to see the movie is a lot of fun. And I would say if you enjoyed the first ones, I know people don't like in general, like the whole thing, but I'm saying if you did like the first two ones, you're gonna love the third one. It's more the same kind of tone and stuff. Well, probably a bit more serious because it's more like the big epic conclusion. But I mean, all the comedic stuff, the hippie family stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. And yeah, bottom line, if you like the first two, you love this one too.
Yeah, I can get behind that. Yeah, because I said I liked the movie alright, even though I didn't see the second one. And the first one, I liked it okay, because I didn't see it in the movies because of when it came out, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I got lucky. I think this trilogy is one of the few ones where I got to see all three in the theater at different times, whenever, and stuff like that. This is probably the first one that I saw that wasn't opening weekend. I think the other ones I did see them opening weekend. But there we go. So anyways, guys, Mark Rodriguez signing off here.
And this is Wendy. We'll see you guys later for our next film.
Yep, we'll be seeing lots of movies in the next couple of weeks that you guys will pick up. But yes, this is the review sanctum where everything and anything may be reviewed. See you next time.
Bye guys.